I like it because it's funny.
Yes, I like the story of the play because it makes you think and it makes you work your brain.
I love the story of the play. It's confusing, but like it explains a lot of things that could actually happen in life.
I think it's very interesting. I love the story of this play because it's Shakespeare and I happen to love Shakespeare.
I like the story of the play because it's just really fun and there's a lot of movement.
I do like the story of the play because it's very diabolical.
And I like how Shakespeare plays with a lot of worlds.
And like there's a lot of twists and turns, plot twists, oh my god, cliffhangers, oof.
The moment I started reading the script and went into detail, I started falling in love with the story.
Also, it's romantic and comedic.
4 people and they're like falling in love with all these other people. Like
The play with a lot of mayhem that I create, so it's a lot of fun and you're constantly running around and it's work, but it's fun.
It's just very fun and like playful.
The auditions work, you have to choose the character you want to audition for. Mr. Kessler will give you a monologue of that character.
And we would all go in secret backstage and we would do the monologue.
He would tell you to present a monologue that he assigned for each character. You would only pick one character and then you would present in front of him.
And then you would ask us to physicalize it and then act it for him.
He would give you a few tips and tricks to change your monologue, and then when he was finally satisfied, he'd tell you to go sit down, and then he'd keep in touch, and then he would call the next person up.
My favorite character is Spock because for me he's funny.
My favorite character would probably have to be Hermia because she's tiny but mighty.
My favorite character is Puck because he's kind of like a little kid just playing games and doing mischief and he doesn't really know how he's affecting everybody.
My favorite character is Oberon because Oberon is very demanding and I just like his attitude and how he just gets people to do what he wants.
I love the character Peter Quince because it's played by Camila, and Camila is very short but she's very fierce. So it's really funny seeing her boss around all of the taller people, and it's just her personality and I think that's adorable.
My favorite character is actually me because it's like me, but it's not like me because it's really fierce and it wants to control everything, but it's also really stupid and I'm not.
Ooh, that's a tough one. I gotta say Bottom. Bottom is just so dumb and that's what makes it funny. So.
I would think it's Helena because the poor thing, she falls in love with this guy and they're together, and then the guy she loves falls in love with someone else. And not only is that someone else one of the best people, like, that's her best friend. And she's been chasing the guy she loves for a while, but he just ignores her and just hates her, and I think that's really sad. But it works out in the end.
That has to be Theseus. He has the world's funniest lines. There's one, I forget how it went. Shoot, but he has the best pickup lines and he's super smooth, and I think the person who plays Theseus is amazing at it, and Theseus has to be my favorite role.
My character gets really mad at her best friend because her best friend is accusing her of being a liar and of accusing her of doing stuff that she wasn't doing. So she gets really mad, but in the end, everyone makes up and all the couples get back together, and it ends up being really good.
Well, my character, he is the servant of the King of Fairies, Oberon, and he says to anoint a lover's eye because this girl wants to get this guy but she can't. So I need to put the flower of love in the guy's eyes, and I kind of mix it up and everything goes out of hand. So that's basically what I do in the play. I just cause mayhem, like I said.
My character is Titania. She is very kind, but she also stands her grounds and she lets you know.
My character, at first she's running after this one guy, and then halfway through, there's another guy who's running after her who was in a couple before, and she's like torn between the two guys, but she really wants this other guy that she was running off in the first place, but then she feels like he's mocking her basically, because he just turns on her like this, like, no, I hate you, and then 5 seconds later he's like, I love you, and she's like, what? No.
My character is Nick Bottom, and he's kind of an aspiring actor, but he's not very smart, so he has a lot of problems.
I play Francis Foot, the Bella's mentor, and it's kind of weird because I'm a girl who plays a boy who plays a...
My character is a man that's under a spell, which makes a woman love him, but he doesn't love her back. But in reality, they do love each other, and at the end of the play, it just comes all together. It's gonna really give you a thrill.
Well, Quince is my character, and he's really fierce because he's the director of the play, and he doesn't like anyone interrupting him, and he doesn't like it when people think that they're the best when he's the director and he's supposed to be doing his job.
Well, it's actually my favorite character in the play because I get to just cause all this mayhem.
I do like my character because I am the king of the fairies.
She always gets what she wants because she fights for it.
No, So then she's like torn, but then everything gets fixed, and then she basically at the end she's just like, you know what? Yeah, I ship us together. We are OTP. Let's do this. And she says yes to the guy, which is Demetrius, and Lysander, which is the other guy, is with Hermione.
They had this little play within the play, and Francis Flute plays this girl named Bisbee, and they're really bad actors.
It's really easy, but at the same time, it's a bit of a challenge because she is a lot like me.
And I get to laugh on stage. I get to play around. I'm like a Looney Tune.
And I'm like royalty, and everybody listens to me.
But she can be a little bit fierce, but she's also pretty arrogant, but she's still lovable.
He's really weird, and he's not stupid, but he's very childish, and he doesn't know what he's doing.
I like my character Titania because she's very brave and she stands her ground.
I have my own like little servant, and I tell him what to do, and I like ruin people's lives, and I love that. So
It's a crazy role, but Helena's crazy. I love her. She's amazing.
Mr. K chose the songs for this show. He wanted to make a more modern interpretation of the classic play by Shakespeare.
It has to do with the play because most of the songs have to do with love and romance.
It's about 4 lovers who end up loving the wrong person, but it all ends up it's more about teamwork when you're doing it with theater because you have certain cues and you have to rely on other people, and it's a lot of fun, but it's stressful and hard.
When you perform with a theater group, there's more people performing, more people acting, and it makes it feel more complete than if you're doing a solo, in which there's only one person.
First, you have to get used to all the cues and kind of know when you're supposed to be playing. And it's also, more, I guess in a way, more exciting because it's like more action than when you're playing by yourself.
day I would learn one of the songs and then teach it to Diana and teach it to Catherine, and we put it all together and we learned like one song a day. It was cool.
The process in which we figured out all the songs was actually not very hard. We just searched up the songs and we listened to them, and then according to what they were playing.
Well, at first I thought it was going to be a lot harder since there's songs that are more pop and those usually include more notes and are trickier, but they ended up being really easy to play.
As an assistant director, I have to run scenes with kids that Mr. Kessler is not working with, and I make sure that everybody is doing what they're supposed to be doing.
Great. The kids did a wonderful job. It was a fantastic experience working with them, sort of diving into the language and the story of the piece. It was wonderful. It was a great first production to do here at Conchita as my first time working with these students.